Hey guys, I recently started playing Deadlock and realized that just like Elden Ring, like I was talking about in the other video, it's been having quite a bit of growing pains with its optimization. And because I took a good shot at Elden Ring, trying to see if I could make it perform a little bit better, I thought we could take a look at this game that I really love playing and see if there's any ways that we could make it run better for you. It's because I know a lot of people are either running on Steam Deck or I know that this game also just gets really, really laggy in late team fights. So I do actually have a couple options for you guys that I've noticed have helped me quite a bit in performance. So let's get started there. So the first thing I want to talk to you guys about is just your settings. This is kind of an obvious thing. I usually do this first before we go into any of the complicated stuff. But we're going to go through really quickly what everything means here and why you should be using it. So FSR2 is going to be an upscaling technology. The reason why I use it above FSR or stretch is because it uses TAA, it's temporal anti-aliasing. It just allows for the best quality while having FSR2 upscaling give you a really good performance. I usually play on quality. That's going to be dependent on your card. You could lower it down to balance, but I wouldn't go anything below balanced as it tends to look a little bit muddy. For FSR2 sharpness, sorry, I just leave it at 50. It doesn't really make a difference. So anything else, I would just have off, except for texture quality. Of course, you want it on medium or low. If you have something that's like a 4090 that has like some ridiculous amount of VRAM or like a 7900 XTX, I'd say texture quality high is fine. But as for all of the other options, you'll just want to turn them off. It doesn't make a difference, I swear. The game is in such early alpha right now that those effects aren't really finished anyways, so a lot of them are going to be buggy or glitchy or just take away from some of the other effects visually in the game. So it honestly destroys a lot of the clutter, which is good, and I would highly recommend doing that. Yeah, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to go into the settings. So we're going to look at some stuff really quickly here just to see what we can go over. I'm going to just do a brush over of what everything means really quickly so you can understand, but then we're going to go into a little bit more of the complicated stuff. So first off, I want to talk about FSR2. You definitely want to be using FSR2 on any of the systems that you're going to be playing this game with. Stretch and FSR just look bad. FSR2 just looks good. That's the way to use it. I personally play on quality or balance. It's based on your performance. I would highly recommend not going below balanced as it starts to look really muddy. I use FSR2 sharpness on 50, but it's really dependent on visual preference. If you like things to look over sharpened, I'd recommend putting it higher. And if you'd like things to look less sharp, I'd put them a little bit lower. But I find 50% tends to be a good mark. For everything else, I just turn it off. These effects aren't technically fully finished yet, so a lot of them just don't work correctly or just aren't functioning the way they should be. So it's better to just disable them to get rid of a lot of the clutter, especially the stuff down here. You want to really disable like area lights, depth of field, displacement mapping, things like that. So the other thing we're going to take a look at right here is just the max frame per second. By default, for some reason, it's showing up as 60, especially on Steam Deck users. You can change that to whatever your monitor's refresh rate is. The max is 240. I'd recommend just maxing it out at 240. And then down here, you're going to see a couple other options as well. So the biggest one that you're going to really want to pay attention to here where it says DX11 is you're going to want to stay on DX11. If you are on an AMD card, I would highly recommend trying Vulkan. But if you're on a NVIDIA card, DirectX 11 just works better. I've seen it from multiple people, and I've tested it on multiple different systems. So I would highly recommend sticking with DirectX 11, even on AMD, but giving it a shot it won't hurt. So that's done with the basic stuff, and now we're going to go into the little more complicated stuff. One thing I did want to say that I forgot to mention earlier is that I would highly recommend unchecking full screen focus behavior and making sure that your windowed mode is on borderless window. I don't know why. I think it's got something to do with Windows's full screen optimization stuff. I have no idea exactly why, but I tend to see frame times be better in games in borderless windowed with modern Windows 11 versions. So yeah, I would highly recommend unchecking full screen focus behavior and forcing your mode to borderless windowed. So Steam has a feature where if you right-click the game and you click Properties, it gives you the opportunity to show launch arguments. So what I've done here is I've taken some of the launch arguments from CS2 that I've seen some other people use, kind of mixing around and tested which ones do work and which ones do nothing, or which ones cause issues. But what these settings essentially do is they pre-cache all the shaders for the map and push your CPU to use more of its capable threads than the game would normally allow. So I would highly recommend throwing these in the launch arguments. All you need to do is just throw them there and then boot up the game, and you should be good to go. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to put them in the comments, as well as if anybody has any other optimizations or anything else that they can add to this video, please, by all means, throw it in the comments and let us know so that we can push this game even further, just like we did with Elden Ring and Minecraft beforehand. So, yeah, of course, guys, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and peace.